NAMM 2025. We are here with the wonderful Sharon Lia. How are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Doing excellent. Thank you so much for joining me today. Now, how has your NAMM been going so far?
Oh, it's good. I've gotten all my steps in every day.
It's a guarantee every time. You can't avoid it. Definitely. Have you had any kind of fun boots or things that have popped out to you?
I had a really good steak and egg burrito this morning from the food truck, and I don't like steak and eggs on a burrito. And I was like, that was the only choice, so it was really good. So I learned something new today.
Good new self-discovery. We love that. That's great. Now, first off, I would really love to talk with you about your foundation, Ladies Who Rock for a Cause. I know you have a wonderful music career as well. I definitely want to dig into that. But what really stood out to me when I first learned about the foundation was just, the amazing work that you do. So I'd love if you could just kind of give us a little bit of a look into, how the foundation was inspired and how you really got it started.
It did start with my music career. And it did start with being part of a music community, kind of like how NAMM is. I wanted to bring women together because oftentimes women don't have an opportunity to use their voice to help other people. So I wanted to start something that did that. And I was also going through a cancer at the time. We had our first event in 2015. And that's basically where it started. So we bring women together, so ladies lifting ladies. We run these musical charitable festivals. So it's been really great. And this is our 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations on that. And also, of course, I'm sorry that you had to go through that struggle. But, in a way, you kind of found a way to help other women and, kind of make good out of the bad in that sense. So proud of you for that as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's about finding your voice. Really, when it comes down to it, for me, it was finding my voice and then being able to use my voice to help other women. And I want to give a platform to women to use their voice, but also to help people in need. So.
That's wonderful. Now, you're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the festival as well. So what are you doing for that 10th anniversary?
Well, right now it's a little bit under wraps. It's a big year for us. It's a big time. We want to make it fantastic. We really do, and we want to help more women than ever. So,
absolutely. How do you go about the planning process when you start getting into these festivals?
Well, so we do everything. From talent acquisition, talent buying, to bringing in our SL100 and putting up the banners and the lights and the sound and running the sound. We have tons of volunteers. And so, it's just soup to nuts. We do the entire process. And it's a lot of work, a lot of hours. And it's all volunteer. So it's a really great experience. I also do all the graphic design. So, literally, we do everything. The marketing, we've had billboards, radio ads, magazine coverage, television shows. It's been a really beautiful blessing.
That's wonderful. No, it definitely sounds like there's a lot of intensive work that goes into it, but I'm sure it's very fulfilling, and it's wonderful that there are so many volunteers on board as well.
Yeah, and an unexpected blessing is the women that we help and the families. Obviously, that's a blessing. The blessing for the ladies and their bands and their partners to be able to sing and help those in need is great. But one thing I did not expect was the volunteers who are passionate and that this gives them some purpose. And my whole thing about life, my music career, everything is about finding your purpose and taking that journey and those first steps to reveal your dreams or to reveal what it is inside you that you can do. Some of us know what we want to do. Some of us do not. And they struggle to find out what that is. So I'm really happy to know that people feel a sense of purpose in participating.
Definitely. That's wonderful. So let's talk about your music career and, your sense of finding that purpose. When did you realize that music was what you wanted to get into, and how did you take that first step?
So the first time that I knew I wanted to be a musician was when I was very small and my parents took me to a concert and I saw these people on stage performing and I felt that energy and I was like, I want to do that same thing. I want to give this to an audience. It didn't hurt that I came out singing. And I started playing piano when I was 6. I wrote my first song when I was 13. And a lot of wonderful things happened along the road. I went to the Aaron Copland School of Music. I did an album with Linda Creed, which she wrote The Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston and a bunch of other hits. And I just know I stepped away for a brief moment. Some things in my life took me away. And the thing is I kept coming back to music, and music saved me during a very difficult time. So it's always there. It's visceral. So it's like any other driving force in any other thing that someone does. There's a driving force, and that's basically how I knew. So I was never giving up.
I'm glad that you didn't give up, and thank you for sharing that with us. I would love to also talk about, I love your versatility in music as well. You know, you have done symphonic metal, you have done blues, you have done other genres as well. It feels like, there's really no boundaries when it comes to the ways that you express yourself and explore music.
That's true. The Linda Creed project is Blue-Eyed Soul. It's the sound that came out of Philadelphia, and that's how that originated. But I did work with David Ivory, who produced for Hailstorm and Silvertide and Patti LaBelle and Erykah Badu and The Roots. And, when we were working with him, he said, I know you have children's music. You have the Linda Creed music. You have some dance music. He says, but I really want you to find a lane and kind of go down that narrow path and just kind of focus on that. And that's really what is in my heart. I love symphonic, epic, movie-like, music. And people tell me when I get off stage, they're like, that was like watching a Disney movie. And they don't mean like children's music. They mean like, this epic experience, and they really feel something. And with this album, Expanse, I really wanted them to go on the journey of searching for purpose through love, loss, adventure, breaking chains, liberation, searching your soul, and finding the light. So actually, Expanse, the name of the album, there's a lot of hidden meaning in all the artwork. We have Morse code, and it means embrace the light. And that's my hope for everyone, is that they hear this, they rock out, they feel it. There's a song really powerful called Feel It in My Bones. I would encourage everyone to listen to that one. It's really about liberation. But find something to believe in is searching for purpose. So, and it's sci-fi, so there are some stories about going off into space and stuff like that. So, and we have videos, little short stories that I wrote as well. So it'll be a fully immersive experience when someone opens the book, opens the CD. So.
Well, no, I love that. Thank you for sharing that as well. And you did also share this beautiful artwork with us as well for the Sharon Lia Band. And yes, let's dig a little bit more into Expanse as well, just kind of the songwriting process. Are you a one-woman team in terms of creating these songs?
I'm not a one-woman team when it comes to producing them and going into the studio. But it is very unanimous or whatever, solitary. When I'm sitting at the piano, the music comes to me, the words come to me as the music unfolds. It's like this divining process. It's hard to explain. And then once I get the idea taped and I've got the music and the lyrics basically fleshed out, I go into the studio with my partner and husband, who auditioned for my band. They say you should never dip your pen in the company ink, so we broke all the rules, but that's okay. But he's my partner and everything, and so we produce the music in our studio. We hire musicians, but we also have our band, and then we just bring it to life. I'll say I hear guitar here, or I hear strings here. So I play piano. I'll do the strings. My husband does the guitar work, the engineering. We co-produce, and then we have our band members, and it's a beautiful experience to hear your music go out into the molecules around you.
And I'd love to talk about a lot of musicians. There's kind of the go-to names of who originally inspired you to get into music. But what I also love to talk with musicians about is who continues to inspire you today. Who else would you, consider someone who influences your music in any way and just brings that out in you?
That is such a hard question. I would say the first song that I wrote was after watching a movie. I think it was like I was really young, and I was watching like that old E.T. Remember E.T.? So once I heard the last song and the movie was closing, I was so inspired that I went to the piano and I wrote my very first song. And I said to my mom, because I said, "Mom, you have to listen." I said, "Do you think it's time for, music lessons now?" She's like, "Yeah, I think so." I'm inspired by movie music, but I'm also inspired by instrumentalists, classical music. I love Evanescence, Nightwish, Delane, ELO, Yes, Pink Floyd. You know, the list goes on. I like music that's very melodic and that tugs on your heartstrings. I want you to really feel something, because jazz is kind of like, la, da, 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 and you're not really tapping in. If with jazz, you're actually kind of, I think, tapping into more of the conversation that you're having with your people that you're with, and enjoying it. But when you like dive into like Mannheim Steamroller, you're locked in to that, right? It grabs you like sticky tape, So, and I like Coldplay and Muse and, Hailstorm, of course. So those are main influences, I would say.
Very cool. Now, it sounds like you've had such a enriching journey in your music, really, and exploring different genres and everything. So you did mention, of course, Expanse, the new album coming out right now. Do you have anything to share in terms of what else is coming up on the horizon for you?
Well, yes. So Expanse is a 26-song double album.
Wow.
4 years and 4,000 hours to create, with 2 books and 4 films. I am promoting Expanse, so I have not really thought much about anything new. However, someone needed a song from me. It's kind of a long story, but my husband went into my trove of music, and he picked out a song that I don't remember writing, and I listened to that and a few of the others that he picked. And when I listened to this one song, I said, wow, this is really great. And I listened for all the modes, because I like to write modes in my music, like classical music. I loved the song, and as chance would have it, my girlfriend is going to be out in LA, and she invited me to her brother's studio. He's worked with John Bonamassa and Steve Vai and people like that. And not only did she invite me to come and be with our little group of friends that all happen to be converging right now, but she also invited me to record there. So I have a new song that I'm going to be working on, and I hope to go grab a piano in here, because I did not bring one with me, to practice. So this coming weekend, I will be recording a new song. Open Your Heart, it's called. So.
Very nice.
And other than that, Ladies Who Rock for a Cause, and that's my focus.
Yes, of course.
Unless something changes, and that could always happen.
Absolutely. No, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this. You are a wonderful person and an inspiring musician. Thank you for all you do with Ladies Who Rock for a Cause and for bringing beautiful music into the world. So thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. It was really lovely to meet you and to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me.